What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am the E-Centric Gamer. I provide gaming news and gaming reviews while you provide the views. And today, Naughty Dog revealed that they may not be able to hit 60 frames per second regarding to their latest project, Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. And Xbox fanboys rejoice with glee. Now, before I get into this topic, I just want to comment about the Xbox fanboys. Just really, I mean, there's just no other way to describe it. The console wars is just ridiculous at this point. I mean, I'll admit, I kind of got into some heated arguments at times with my friends regarding to the consoles and PC and the whole thing, and my friends who have Xbox and the whole thing. At this point, it's just ridiculous, especially to the point where basically the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One are practically the same machine. There's very, very subtle differences. Like the only difference that I see with the consoles is that the PlayStation 4 is slightly more powerful than the Xbox One. It sounds like they're pretty much even when it comes to overall power of the systems, since Xbox got rid of the Kinect. And the only other difference I've noticed about them is the freaking size of the consoles. The Xbox looks like a DVR and the PlayStation's this tiny trapezoid thing, but still looks freaking awesome. But the point is, there's just no difference between the two consoles at this point, and your war is utterly pointless. I mean, yeah, you Xbox fanboys love that one of the PlayStation's biggest games is, may not be as delivered as promised. Well, look at your Master Chief collection, okay? Your online doesn't even work. So, in my opinion, both sides have their problems. No one's better than the other. Just stop it. Let's just enjoy the games, man. Seriously. Stop it. But anyway, according to an article on GameSpot, Naughty Dog said previously that it was targeting 60 frames per second for the upcoming PlayStation 4 game Uncharted 4: A Thief's End, but the studio has since backed away from the objective somewhat, saying it wants to do what's best for A Thief's End, even if it means sub 60 frames per second. Now, Naughty Dog has yet again spoken about the 60 frames per second for A Thief's End. Game director Neil Druckmann says achieving that frame rate is no simple task. Naughty Dog will keep pushing and optimizing to make the game look as best as it can, he said, though he wouldn't say if 60 frames per second is a benchmark the developer is hoping to achieve overall. And a quote from Neil Druckmann himself, "Really fucking hard," Druckmann said, when asked by Game Informer how difficult it would be to get the game running at 60 frames per second. That's true for any game. It was really hard on The Last of Us Remastered, and that's a game we had finished and we knew exactly what the end result needs to look like. And here, with Uncharted 4, we're trying to push the boundaries of what the game can look like and do realistic real-time cutscenes, and trying to do 60 frames per second is really hard. I don't know, he said. The objective for us is to just make the best experience, and right now we're trying to push the look, then we'll see where we're at and reassess. We're constantly making choices to our production and what's going on to make the game feel best and look its best. Game director Bruce Straley, whose last name I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right, said previously that Naughty Dog won't push for 60 frames per second if doing so negatively impacts the overall experience. We are going to do whatever it takes to make the game we want to make, he said in January. If it means we could go for 60 but lose something that would really impact the player's experience, then it's our choice as developers to say, well, we're going to go for the experience instead of the 60 frames per second. Regarding the general technical abilities of the PS4 itself compared to the PS3, Straley said, it's actually pretty amazing to tell the truth. There's things that have been issues in the past that aren't issues at all right now, he said. And it's funny because how quickly you forget that used to be an issue. That being said, just like every piece of tech, what Naughty Dog does is we push the limits to anything and everything that's in our eyesight, in our reach. Truckman interjected, "There's always limited resources." Straley continued, "All the problems that used to exist are pretty much gone at this point. We've just come up with new problems. A Thief's End, which is aiming for 1080p resolution, launches later this year exclusively for the PlayStation 4. Sony has not yet announced an official release date." That was the whole article on GameSpot. Go check that out if you're interested. So getting back on point here, what are my thoughts on Uncharted 4 possibly being basically subtle 60 frames per second, or if not 30 frames per second, rather than the full lockdown 60 frames per second? I will be honest with you. I don't really mind it as much since it's Naughty Dog. And so for every game that I've experienced from Naughty Dog, whether it be on the PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4, now I haven't even played a Naughty Dog game on the PlayStation 4, but you get what I mean. God damn it. By the way, this is live footage. Kind of live footage. Whoa, shit. Anyway. Basically, their games are just incredible that I can kind of deal with 30 frames per second. And I honestly don't mind it, especially for the reasons that they said in the article, which I just read to you. I get their reasoning that if they are forced to remove something that's incredibly beneficial to the experience of the game, like if they have to take out like an important part of the game, I can understand them not wanting to do that. So usually in these kind of cases, when you're talking about frame rate and the whole thing, it's either you drop the quality of the graphics in order to compensate for the frame rate, or it's the other way around. You compensate the frame rate for graphics, and that's what Naughty Dog wants to do. They want to push the visuals to a whole new level, which is basically 1080p. God damn it. Which is basically 1080p, which is basically full HD, and who knows what the frame rate will be. Now, I guess part of the reason why I'm okay with it as well is because I'll be honest with you, I adopted the PlayStation 4 kind of early, like 60 frames, basically getting used to 60 frames per second. At first, it was really weird for me to adjust. It was an adjustment that I had to make, honestly. I've never played on a PC. Basically, the only consoles that I've had have been a PlayStation 2, a PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and I did have an Xbox 360 for a limited amount of time. I traded it in. I didn't really like the Xbox 360, honestly. My only experience with 60 frames per second had been the PlayStation 4, and at first it was an adjustment. First game I played on the PlayStation 4 that was at 60 frames per second was Tomb Raider: The Definitive Edition. And I remember like thinking to myself, like, I remember on the PlayStation 3 version, Lara Croft ran faster in that one, but that was because that was in 30 frames per second instead of 60. So I guess that's why I'm kind of more tolerant toward the frames per second thing, and why it doesn't bother me so much. I know it's a big topic right now, and a lot of gamers prefer 60 frames. I actually have come around on it, and I prefer 60 frames, but like I said, I get Naughty Dog's reasoning, and I honestly wouldn't mind. I'm not completely against it. Another reason why I'm okay with it as well is because Naughty Dog is actually admitting it. I think that's an important detail that a lot of people are overlooking it, and just Xbox fanboys are just like, Naughty Dog, Sony's biggest company, sucks. That Naughty Dog actually admitted that they might not be able to do this. This isn't like Watch Dogs and Ubisoft, where they showed one thing and gave us a completely other thing. To be fair, Watch Dogs still looked pretty good. It just wasn't as good as what they originally showed, what they promised basically. And I know Naughty Dog said that they promised as well with all that stuff, but at least you got to give credit where credit's due, in my opinion, where Naughty Dog admitted that, hey, we'll be honest with you guys, we're not sure if we can actually do this. Like I said, the fact that they admitted that, I completely respect and I completely appreciate, because no fucking companies do this. And I believe that more people would be more willing to accept these kind of things if these companies would be more honest with this stuff. Well, that's my thoughts and opinions on the Uncharted 4, 60 frames per second, Xbox fanboys rejoice gleefully, controversy, whatever. I am the Eccentric Gamer. I provide gaming reviews and gaming news such as this, while you guys provide the views. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter as well, at Gaming Circle Live. Thank you, and see you next time, guys. Bye.